Hey everybody, welcome to the GameTaffy. I'm Ben Davis and it's Wednesday and we're going to have a little addendum to the conversation from yesterday. We talked about the Smithsonian taking Flower and Halo 2600 as permanent fixtures in their art museum. And I'd like to discuss some of the games that I think are works of art and should therefore be included. I want to talk about two games from each of the consoles that I have owned, starting with the NES. And on that, I believe Metroid and Legend of Zelda are works of art. Metroid, because it was the first game to allow for a non-linear way of play, and it was also one of the few games that featured a female lead character. Legend of Zelda, because it was another adventure game, non-linear in structure, and had a very diverse and interesting art style. On the Super Nintendo, I think it should go to Chrono Trigger and Earthbound. Both of them are RPGs, but both of them did amazing things for storytelling in video games. Both of them featured really fantastic gameplay mechanics as well as really interesting art styles. On the original PlayStation, I have to go with Xenogears, another RPG, but a really interesting one based on its anime-style graphics and its pseudo-religious inspired story. Also, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey was a really amazing game, both in terms of art and story, especially since there's very little text to the story. It's mostly told through images. On the PlayStation 2, I've got to go with Final Fantasy X because it was the first game that made me cry, and that right there should be enough to qualify as art. As well as Mark of Cree, another graphically interesting game and culturally aware. On the PlayStation 3, since Flower is already inducted, I've got to go with that game company's Journey. I love Journey for the fact that it made my wife cry when she only watched the last level, and frankly, it got me pretty involved. It forces you to come face to face with your own mortality. Also, Little Big Planet allowed users to take the technology of a video game and create their own levels, their own works of art. Finally, since I have an Xbox 360 and I don't have a lot of experience with gaming there, I'm going to go with Fable 2 for its wonderful art style and multiple endings and very interesting character progression system, and Mass Effect, since it is essentially a novel in a video game. Anytime I hear someone say, video games can't tell a story, I tell them to play Mass Effect. What are your games that are works of art? I asked it yesterday, I'm going to ask it again. Yesterday, my buddy Elizabeth Johnson replied, okay, no laughing, Halo Reach, Halo 4, and StarCraft 2 are still the most beautiful games I have ever played. Does that make them art? I say nay. Do some of the stills from the game qualify as art? I think so. I think to really give the title of art, there has to be more value than just the beauty. In that case, I would give the title of art to Ocarina of Time and Super Paper Mario. Now stay with me here, Super Paper Mario was unique in both beauty and gameplay. You are two-dimensional, but you have to flip to a three-dimensional view to fight some monsters and find hidden doors. Personally, I think that's clever. The art is both the scenery and the value the game brings to the genre. So go ahead and leave a comment below. Feel free to share this video and subscribe. There will be a new video tomorrow and the day after that, and every day until the baby comes and Christmas and New Year's. Those are the only times off that I'm going to have. I'm Ben Davis, and this was the GameTaffy.